Welcome to EPM training. I will be showing you how to enter your consultant docs into EPM as a consultant project manager. So go ahead and log into EPM and find your CMS module. Now once you have your contract pulled up here in the 914 consultant docs screen, click on the work plan hours derivation button here. This is where you will add your employees that will be working on the contract and also the narrative of the work they will be performing. Each of these tabs across the top, work plan, hours derivation, and key people, will all need to have information entered into them. The first tab that shows up, work plan, this is where the narrative of the work that will be performed and the deliverables for each task will be entered. The work plan will show all of the activities that the U.PM has used on their Independent Cost Estimate, or ICE, for this contract. If there are activities that are not needed or additional activities are required for this contract, you may adjust the activities by going into the Assign Prime Activities section of the consultant documents. See that video for a tutorial of how to edit the activities on each contract's transaction. Under this Work Plan tab, each activity selected will contain the default narrative associated with it from the Project Delivery Network or other delivery networks UDOT uses. It's important you customize the narrative to match the work that will be done and deliverables that will be delivered on this project. You can navigate between each activity by clicking on the Next Activity and Previous Activity buttons, or by clicking on the magnifying glass, which will populate a list of all the activities on this contract that will then allow you to select the activity you want to go to. Like all the screens in CMS, it's important to click Save before moving to a different screen. The Hours Derivation tab is where you'll be adding your employees onto each activity and assigning hours. Now there's several ways to do this. You can do it one at a time, or you can do it all at once by adding contracting teams. I will now demonstrate adding a single employee by clicking on Add Employee, and up pops a list of all the employees that the consultant administrator has set up for the company. Select the employee from the list and up pops the contract job title. If that company job title doesn't really describe what they're doing on this contract, then you can go ahead and change it. So for example, let's say Jakey is going to be doing hydraulics. I'll then enter the amount of hours for this task. For this example, let's do 10 hours. And tab or enter, and CMS will automatically calculate the cost for this work by multiplying the hours entered for this and the current rate of pay for the employee. The current rate of pay for each employee needs to be managed and updated in the consultant profile or the 930 screen. CMS allows me to change his proposal rate, which will be used on the contract to calculate the total costs by entering a new value. This feature is to be used if a change in pay for this employee is anticipated during the contract term. If the current rate and the proposal rate are different, a new tab will appear called Pay Rate Variance, and a detailed explanation is required. An example of why the rates of pay would differ would be if any anticipated raises will occur during the contract term. So go ahead and click on Save. Now I mentioned you're able to add contracting teams to your activities. In order to do that, come over here and click on Manage Contract Team Profiles. Be sure to check the employees you'd like to add and click on Save Profile. We'll call this Team D and then Save New Profile. Now that I've created a contract team, I can say Add Contract Team, enter at least 1 hour for each employee, and then click on Save Selected Employees to All Activities. You'll now see all the employees down here with their hours and pay rates. If you need to add hours or change pay rates, you can just double click on the employee and you'll have the ability to change the hours and the pay rate here in the proposal rate. Now keep in mind you will need to repeat this task of adding employees and their hours for work for each and every activity that is assigned to this contract. Once that's completed, you'll then need to identify key people for the contract. Let's now click on the Key People tab. Here you're going to select whomever is your key person. You have to select at least one key person for the contract. Now, a key person or persons are individuals that the consultant is committing to the UDOT project manager in the capacity that was negotiated for the entirety of the project. If there needs to be a change to a key person, only authorized UDOT personnel may approve the replacement if they are equivalent or better qualified than the current employee being replaced. Subconsultants aren't required to select a key person, however, we highly advise that they do select at least one. So now that I've checked my one key person, go ahead and click on Back to Overview. And now you can enter a check mark into the completed box so that both the system knows you've completed the work plan hours derivation and you know you've completed that section. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact Consultant Services and we would be happy to help you. Thanks.